Hello everybody and welcome back. Welcome back to the RLBot Championship 2023. Today is going to be our last bubble sort, the third machine learning bubble sort, where we are going to find our top 8 participants that's going to move on and proceed to the elimination stage. So today is a pretty exciting day. And I'm joined today by Aech and QuadBlueShadow. Hey guys.
Hello.
So we have a few updates to the bots. We also didn't get to finish all the matches from last week, so there might be a lot of matches to do again today. Therefore we are going to play first of 3, just like we did yesterday with the hard-coded bot, and hopefully that means we will end up with a sorted ladder, but we'll see. We might also be done early, who knows. But yeah. Any predictions about what we're going to see to the ladder today? Any major changes?
SmartFridge and Vector are probably going to climb pretty hard.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how the new changes to Ripple do. I know that Ripple's been turning a new version recently on stream for a little while now, and I'm excited to see how it does.
There's some talk that SmartFridge is also stuck way too low on the ladder right now. But
yeah, I agree.
is he gonna be able to take out
a couple of places?
Sorry, what?
I said, yeah, I think SmartFridge is probably going to take a couple of places.
Yeah, the question is whether he's able to get all the way to the top 8 spot. There's some pretty strong opponents between him and top 8. So that's another thing we'll find out today. But you guys will do
some good matches.
Yeah, you guys will do the main casting, and then I'll sit in the background for today and just rest my voice after yesterday. So take it away while I start the first match.
All right, let's get into it.
First matchup will be Electron versus 2Void. Electron being in one spot and 2Void actually having some team play, so we'll see what happens. Personally,
yeah, 2Void was looking pretty good last week, especially with the team plays compared to some of these weaker bots. We know Matrix, unfortunately, didn't have the best time last week, but especially against 2Void, I think the specific 2's behavior that 2Void seems to have taken on is really helping it out here.
Yes. 2Void or Electron also doesn't really jump very high, and 2Void does, so this could be pretty one-sided. But it also could be pretty close because Electron has great ball control.
Yeah. All right, getting into it here. Kickoff. First kickoff goes in favor of Electron. Ball just in Blue's possession, being carried down the midfield. Electron with really good ball control manages to sneak it by 2Void up the wall, and does manage to sink the first shot, and that seemed like a fairly easy shot for Electron here, taking it up 1-0. Only a couple of seconds into the first round.
2Void not really sure what to do on defense there, just kind of slowly came up to the ball, but Electron was just too fast.
Yeah, Electron with really good ball control there, and that's something we see a lot with machine learning bots, although, okay, really good kickoff, actually going right over the top of the 2 defenders here on the next kickoff. But as I was saying, the ball carrying seems to be something that ML bots are particularly proficient at. It seems like a lot of these bots are good at just grabbing the ball and driving it around. Though that being said, we have a 50-50 going in favor of 2Void here, tying up the score at 4:37 on the clock.
Yeah, nice 50 there. Nice 50. All right, Electron seems to be really good on kickoff, though, so this could just swing in his favor. As you can see, it just has that speed flip that gets it right around 2Void every single time. 2Void struggling on the wall a little bit here, but gets bumped out of the way by Electron. Oh, Electron off the wall, and it's just going to carry that straight in.
Yeah, wow. All right, well, we have 2-1 here at 4:15 on the clock. A really nice bounce and follow-up, sort of a self-pass here from Electron right on the goal line.
Another kickoff win.
Kickoff. Yeah, we can see Electron really consistently beating 2Void in the kickoffs here. Not sure if that's hard-coded. I assume it probably is. but we can see the superior strategy coming out. Electron sinking in a easy goal, and that'll be 3 goals. Game over in favor of Electron. Pretty quick game there.
Yeah, Two Boy just wasn't really secure on defense, and its kickoff really kind of gave in there. But yeah, Electron moves up. Not exactly quite sure what bot it'll be facing though, because my there we go. It'll be going up against Vector. Okay, another one spot.
All right, this should be exciting. Vector, of course, the first bot made by Jeff A, where Matrix is his second. We've seen Vector do pretty well last week. It seemed like it has reasonably solid mechanics, just all around a fairly solid bot. Not too fast, you know, it's definitely lacking on the speed, and obviously it's a ones bot, so its two's capacity is a little limited, but this should be an interesting match nonetheless.
Oh wait, Electron's already gone against Vector. Oh, okay, so there's already a lot there. Cool, cool.
So we have Vector versus SmartFridge. Now, SmartFridge, possibly a little underrated, I think, on the ladder here, so this might be a little bit of an upset. I wonder if we're going to end up following SmartFridge for a little while as it journeys up the ladder here. We'll have to see.
Yes, we'll have to see if its team play is good enough to take out Vector, because while Vector doesn't have team play, it is a very solid bot.
Yeah, Vector was one of the first good all-rounder bots, I would say. It was fairly early on in the explosion of ML bots we've recently seen. But we'll see how it goes. Okay.
What a slow start for everything there.
SmartFridge seems to maybe run into some errors here. It does not go for the kickoff. It seems to be bugged out of it. I think we'll probably restart that one.
Probably.
Nothing like a good bit of bugs and a few errors to go with these bots. Just adds to the charm.
True RLBot classic right there. Man, I think the only thing we've seen of SmartFridge so far is one match against Matrix and one match against Ragnarok, so we really haven't seen its true power. This is going to be... I guess you could really call this a debut of how good it is, because so far it's been pretty uneven matches.
Yeah. I think we're getting through a little bit of a struggle in the beginning here with some technical issues, but looks like we're off to the races here now on the kickoff. SmartFridge back up and running, takes the kickoff. Vector now trying to get control, but whips the ball, and SmartFridge there for the follow-up. We have a first goal here very early on in the game, 1-0 in favor of SmartFridge.
Vector fumbling a little bit there on defense. Seemed to kind of be doing some random flips. SmartFridge took the opening, and that's a goal.
Yep, no problem at all. It seems like Vector kind of got caught up on the wall, didn't quite know how to recover, and SmartFridge was able to capitalize. Now, kickoff going in favor of Vector, but SmartFridge will get a good clear downfield. Ball rolling up towards the back wall. Vector is there, but can it make contact? A little bit of an awkward position. It seems like Vector didn't quite know what to do, and that'll be 2-0 in favor of SmartFridge. This seems like it's going to be a pretty quick game so far.
Vector really not feeling it today. Its defense is shy of what it usually is, but SmartFridge also seems to have some pretty good offense here, some pretty good plays. It also doesn't seem to double commit, which is pretty impressive.
Ooh, but a nice little touch over the top by Vector there off the kickoff. That was a great follow-up off the bounce. And Vector gets one goal, bringing the lead in favor of SmartFridge 1-2.
Okay, Vector seems to have woken up now. Retaliating. Off kickoff here. Wins the kickoff. Let's see if they can do anything with it. Oh, SmartFridge aerial over both of them.
What a jump. A nice little aerial follow-up. You can see SmartFridge, no hesitation, goes right into the air, even rolls into the ball, and we get a nice goal, 1-3. So that'll be SmartFridge taking the game over Vector.
Alright, SmartFridge's next opponent will be Monkey. Bot. Great. Monkey is also one
Good luck.
spot, except it has a small rotation, so we'll see.
Okay, I'm just
Well,
jumping
after
in
that
here.
showing, SmartFridge is looking pretty good.
Okay, it looks like there's a low quality on the viewer's end, so I'm just going to restart the stream with some lower settings and see if that helps. So we'll be right back, guys.
All right, let's get back into it. So, SmartFridge last game, good showing. It seemed like it had pretty good rotations, and I was particularly impressed with how well it seemed to be able to jump for the ball and go for a couple of those aerial shots. So it'll be good to see how it does against Monkey here.
Yeah, Monkey's probably going to get a little bamboozled here. Doesn't know how to aerial, only knows how to double jump sometimes. But we'll see what happens. I just hope it's not an absolute blowout.
I'm not sure exactly what changes were made to SmartFridge, but it is one of the updated bots this weekend. So, and those updates seem to have come through so far. We'll have to see how well it pairs up against the rest of the ladder, but I'm excited.
Yeah, something else to note about it is that it has an actual rotation, unlike a lot of these bots. It seems to keep one bot back, the other one goes forward.
Yeah,
All
that
right,
does
entering
seem to
this
be the
next
case.
match, though. Monkey barely winning the kickoff there. Doesn't really seem to be able to follow up, though. Oh, here comes a shot, maybe? Oh, misses with the possession. Misses the double jump, and that's, that's just a goal for SmartFridge.
Unfortunately, Monkey lacking a little bit of the coordination we would hope, and SmartFridge going in for that quick pull shot off the teammate, manages to get the ball downfield and into the net. 1-0 in favor of SmartFridge.
Alright, pretty even kickoff. Goes slightly in favor of Monkey. Here comes SmartFridge with an aerial, though. Goodness.
A good aerial to send the ball downfield here. Ball in the blue possession. SmartFridge jumping up once again. Not afraid to go in the air at all, but unfortunately can't manage to make a good shot, and the teammate's too far back. Monkey tries to bring the ball downfield, but SmartFridge will win the 50. Tries to go up, but unfortunately doesn't have any boost, and a near miss on the corner there. Unfortunately, Monkey was not there in time to get the defense off the bounce here, and SmartFridge does sink the shot. 2-0 now, just a few seconds in.
Yeah, SmartFridge clearly showing its dominance here. Oh, okay. Gets a kickoff win. This could be dangerous. Yeah, that's a goal.
SmartFridge just seeming to outperform Monkey here in most of the mechanical ways. So SmartFridge, we've seen not afraid to go up in the air. It seems like that kickoff was pretty good, and so far the other kickoffs have been pretty good for SmartFridge as well. It seems like Monkey just is not quite able to keep up. That'll be 3-0, and the first game over there against Monkey, SmartFridge wins in convincing fashion.
Next opponent up, though, is NDroid. NDroid does know how to aerial, so maybe it'll put up some competition against SmartFridge.
Yeah, last week NDroid was looking really good against its various opponents, so I'm very interested to see how well it does against SmartFridge. From what we've seen so far, I think SmartFridge is going to be a reasonable competitor. Not sure if it'll manage to squeak out the win. I felt like NDroid was a little bit of a step above its opponents below in the bracket, so it'll be interesting to see how this goes.
We'll see if NDroid misses too many shots or if it can actually hit on net, though. That seems to be the one problem that it has. SmartFridge doesn't really seem to miss as much, so we'll see.
Yeah, and the SmartFridge kickoff seems to be winning in most of these games here, so the kickoff going pretty heavily in favor of SmartFridge here, but the ball up the wall in the midfield, NDroid manages to sink a nice shot right down the field here, straight into the net. SmartFridge, you can see, went for the aerial, but just did not quite make it. That was very close.
Okay, so looks like we found a weakness here. It doesn't have wall play, which could be very important in those situations. NDroid had no boost, but since it went up the wall, it had a good dunk. As soon as I say that, though.
Trying to go up the wall, and neither of them hitting the ball, but SmartFridge ending up with the possession, gets a nice follow-up touchdown field. Ball not quite on target, but NDroid on the wall in the corner, ready to take possession here. The ball heading down the field. NDroid challenging SmartFridge and manages to bring the ball down into the blue half. But NDroid not there for the follow-up here. Managed to get a 50 to keep it in the blue half, but SmartFridge has possession. Trying to send the ball downfield from the air, but doesn't quite make contact. That's dangerous, and NDroid centering the ball. Unfortunately, the teammate is not there. SmartFridge manages to get it back to midfield, going for the follow-up here. Ball is high and in front of the net. SmartFridge goes for the shot, and it is good. NDroid was not there for the defense, so we have a 1-1 tied game. This one looking a lot closer 1 minute in.
Alright. Looks like SmartFridge does seem to take control of most situations here. Android's pretty fast, but SmartFridge is pretty secure, so we'll see if Android can keep up.
Yeah. Definitely still seems to have the advantage on the kickoffs, though. The kickoff consistently going in favor of SmartFridge. Now, Android trying to take possession on the midfield here. No boost, manages to get the ball downfield, but sends it straight into SmartFridge, who sends it back down the field. NDroid there for a good midfield challenge. The 50-50 going in favor of NDroid. Now SmartFridge challenging, gets it over the top of NDroid, takes possession of the ball on the orange half, but a demo coming in from NDroid. That's rare. We haven't seen too many of those. NDroid for a quick turnaround shot from the corner, but the shot is not good. SmartFridge is there to save. Now both bots going up in the air. NDroid beating SmartFridge to the follow-up, but SmartFridge in the midfield, bounces the ball over the top for a good challenge by NDroid. SmartFridge now sending the ball over top onto the net, and NDroid caught out of position, was not able to get the save here. So that'll be 2-1 now in favor of SmartFridge after an excellent shot from downfield.
Yes, great lobber there. Android doesn't seem to have been ready for that one. Tried an aerial, but it was just a little bit off target.
It seems like it seems like NDroid has reasonable aerial skills, but it just doesn't quite know about the boost yet, so it's often not quite enough boost to get the aerials that it needs to. But here's SmartFridge, sends the ball, trying to get the ball on net, but the shot is not good. Still keeping the ball consistently right outside the goalie box in the orange half here. SmartFridge out of boost, but gets a decent 50. Demoed by NDroid, however, who sends the ball downfield for the follow-up off the corner. NDroid centering the ball, maybe going in the net. Nope, not quite. SmartFridge is there. NDroid almost had a goal there, but now we have SmartFridge in possession, sending the ball downfield. Loses the challenge in midfield, but we have another SmartFridge here. No boost on the wall, ready for the follow-up. Meeting NDroid and actually gets a good challenge, but the second NDroid is there to send the ball into the blue half. Rotating backfield now. SmartFridge gains possession, lobs the ball very high, all the way downfield, straight into the orange corner with a great bounce. NDroid doesn't know what to do with that one. Can't quite make it, but does get the catch as SmartFridge misses, and NDroid sends the ball back downfield now, going for the shot. But SmartFridge is there, however, the second NDroid, just a follow-up after follow-up after follow-up here. That was some great positioning on both sides, as SmartFridge does end up with the possession, trying to send the ball into the orange net, but just can't seem to make the target here.
NDroid
back in possession.
Yeah, SmartFridge keeping pretty much all the possession right now. NDroid just seems to be blocking shot after shot. Here comes yet another shot, not quite in. Good save by NDroid. Keeps bumping Fridge out of the way a little bit, but Fridge, again with possession. That's a great shot. Oh, barely off the post. NDroid trying to clear this out, but one SmartFridge seems to be enough to really hold that pressure down. Although it does seem to be an opportunity for NDroid again. A demo. SmartFridge with a really high aerial there. Could be a pass. No, NDroid clears it out again. Straight to another SmartFridge, catches it, but doesn't quite put that in the correct direction. Gives it a chance for NDroid to come off the wall. SmartFridge a little confused in the corner, but the other one bails it out. Again up the wall. NDroid seems to have a little bit better wall control there. Seems to be a little more secure. Keeps beating SmartFridge on the wall, but SmartFridge out of boost there. Another dangerous position. Second SmartFridge misses. Barely gets a touch before NDroid. NDroid seems to really be keeping up the pressure now, but just doesn't seem to have a connecting shot. Oh, as soon as they say that though, ooh, what a great save from SmartFridge. Here comes NDroid again.
I will say, it seems like these two bots are by far the most evenly matched that we've seen so far. It seems like both NDroid and SmartFridge are able to get some good team plays in. Their positioning is very rarely caught off guard when the other one is able to take advantage, so it seems like they're about as evenly matched as you can get here. We're only 20 seconds left in the round, or 15 seconds, excuse me, and we only have a 1-goal lead here, very close in favor
Chat is saying back.
I think we're back. It looks good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks pretty smooth.
Okay, let's keep going. I'm
All
trying
right.
to figure out what I can improve in the background.
Next up, it looks like we have SmartFridge versus SolarFlare. I don't know what to make of this game. I suspect it's probably going to edge out in favor of SolarFlare. I was looking pretty strong last weekend, but I really am not too sure. I think this is going to be another pretty even match. What do you think?
Well, SmartFridge certainly beats it on the aerials, so I guess it'll be up to how many aerials SolarFlare can defend. But I think it could be pretty even. SolarFlare has a lot of speed. Its consistency is a little questionable sometimes, but well, it can get chopped in eventually.
Yeah, the speed definitely seemed to be the thing that stood the most out to me of SolarFlare last weekend. And, there's something to be said, even if it's not too consistent, the just beating SmartFridge to the ball and not letting it get those aerial setups could be a pretty major advantage. So, we'll see how it goes here. Kickoff looking reasonably even, but does go in the favor of Orange, SolarFlare, but not there to follow up. SmartFridge gets a nice bounce shot going for the aerial follow-up. Can't quite land it as the ball was going a little fast, but now second SmartFridge is there to challenge at the midfield. Doesn't get a good hit, and here we have
Wow.
SolarFlare, unfortunately, just barely crossbar down and out, does not sink the shot. SmartFridge sending it down to the midfield. SolarFlare here for the follow-up. Grabs the ball. Another shot just barely off target. Not quite able to land those shots, although I will say the power is good. And SolarFlare, we can see here the speed. This is what we were talking about. SolarFlare is just beating SmartFridge to the ball a lot. Now we have SmartFridge not quite able to get a good touch on the ball. SolarFlare there for the follow-up, gets a shot and the demo, and yeah, this is what I was thinking might happen. SolarFlare is just beating SmartFridge to the ball so consistently that it's able to take all these shots before SmartFridge knows what to do.
Wow, barely get that touch there. Demo's SmartFridge, but he got it in. Okay, another kickoff win for SolarFlare here. SmartFridge is going to clear this, almost clear this out with an aerial, but touch doesn't really go in its favor.
Now SmartFridge bringing the ball downfield, gets a good touch over the top, but the second SolarFlare is there. SmartFridge in the corner now gets bumped. SolarFlare very aggressive here, taking control of the ball, sending it down to the blue half, but the defender SmartFridge is there to bring it back down to the orange half. Ball just kind of going between the two teams' corners here as SolarFlare and SmartFridge vie for control in the middle. SmartFridge does get it over the top. SolarFlare on the wall, can't quite make contact, but an incredible save. Wow, look at that. Just near the backboard, jumping off the wall, SolarFlare saves it on the goal line. SmartFridge now with an aerial shot to send it downfield, but not quite on target. Defender SolarFlare is there, doesn't quite manage to jump in time though, and SmartFridge does get it over the top and in with the quick follow-up. 1-1 now, we're all tied up.
Yeah, SolarFlare on the boost there. So SmartFridge had the speed advantage, and that's it. Yeah, pretty good goal. Oh, this is certainly a close match. It could really go either way. It just depends on a little bit of luck here.
Yeah, these two have very clashing playstyles. SolarFlare, we can see, very grounded, but very fast, not afraid to hold down that boost button. And SolarFlare seems to favor the air much more, going up on the wall, jumping for follow-ups, trying to get taps. And look at the SmartFridge almost with a great aerial shot, but doesn't quite make it in. The ball going wide, SolarFlare there with the clear, and almost a double tap follow-up. What are we seeing here? Neither bot's able to make contact, but they're both trying some crazy stuff as SmartFridge sends a shot not quite on target, but is there for the follow-up. A really slow hit over the top, but no defender is there, and SmartFridge will take the lead now 2-1. What a game.
Yeah, that's the problem there. SolarFlare doesn't have as much height as SmartFridge, so it could just do that, and SolarFlare is a little screwed.
Yeah, I think every time that SmartFridge is given the opportunity to send the ball over the top of SolarFlare, it's a huge advantage, and we can see SmartFridge is taking those opportunities every chance it gets.
SolarFlare actually countering that wall play there. Doesn't seem to go for the follow-up, though.
Not interested in the goal, apparently. It's satisfied taking the ball off the wall. But we'll go for the challenge in midfield now. SmartFridge back in possession. Tries to go for an aerial follow-up, but doesn't have any boost, and SolarFlare is there to take over the top. Unfortunately, the double commit will put them at a bit of a disadvantage as SmartFridge takes possession back. The ball now in the midfield. SolarFlare going for the hit, does grab the ball, but unfortunately lacks the control. Not a good hit. SmartFridge will just take that tee up right off the top of SolarFlare and send the ball straight down the field. This is looking like it's less of a close game than we thought it might be.
Yeah. I feel like the SolarFlare update could have fixed some of the issues here, but again, not in time, not in time.
Unfortunately, that's just how it is. SmartFridge will take the win here and move up the bracket once again, taking the win over SolarFlare. That was a close game, though.
Well, next up is Vulcan. So yeah, I think this could be the place where SmartFridge just stops, because Vulcan is probably stronger than SolarFlare, has a pretty good play style, and it can also aerial. So we'll see if it can actually counter SmartFridge's aerials, maybe go higher even. Don't think it really has any flicks, so it doesn't have that, but I think it also has wall play. So we'll see. I think this is a really close match.
Yeah, I think Vulcan is going to be the first real gatekeeper for SmartFridge. We'll see how it goes, but I think my money's on Vulcan for now.
Same here.
Should be an interesting game, though. I'm excited to see if SmartFridge can pull through. That would be a decent upset, putting SmartFridge in the top 8, and I certainly didn't see that coming in the first week.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, if SmartFridge does beat Vulcan, that would be pretty insane. I think that would be a secure, yeah, that would be a secured top 8 for sure, because it's already beaten every single bot below it, so it would be guaranteed.
Yeah. Let's get into it here. We have a Vulcan versus SmartFridge, 2 versus 2, and it looks like Vulcan opted not to go for the kickoff. Interesting choice. SmartFridge takes the shot, but Vulcan will defend it. Vulcan now kind of double committing, going for the duo ball carry that we sometimes see. Doesn't pan out, though, as SmartFridge hits the ball over the top, takes possession, gets a nice, powerful shot downfield, and Vulcan just looking dazed and confused here as SmartFridge is barreling the ball down towards its net. This may not be as close of a game as we thought. Vulcan tries to go for the jump, but unfortunately just can't make the save. And we have 1-0 in favor of SmartFridge.
Yeah, Vulcan there leaving the net completely open. Didn't seem to really understand what SmartFridge was about to do. That's a good save, though.
There we go. Now we're seeing what we're more used to. Vulcan going up, getting some nice high shots, lobbing the ball downfield into the blue corner here. Seems to be a little afraid of going for the follow-up touch, though, in the corner as SmartFridge takes possession. A double commit from SmartFridge as they bring the ball downfield here. SmartFridge on the wall, doesn't get a good touch, leaving possession back in the hands of Vulcan, who gets a good 50 at the midfield, tries to catch the ball, but can't quite make contact as the second Vulcan is there for the follow-up and the bounce, but the shot is not good. Ball down in midfield, Vulcan grabs the boost, goes for the follow-up. The touch is good, but the shot's not on target. Up in the air for another shot, but SmartFridge is there to defend. The ball now on the wall as 2 SmartFridges go for a shot off the wall, and neither of them make a very good touch. Vulcan here, up in the air at the midfield for a good follow-up. Takes a shot, but misses, and unfortunately, SmartFridge not quite there in time to defend. The score will be 1-1, now all tied up there.
Yeah, SmartFridge seems to be consistently double committing here, and Vulcan has those aerials to take advantage of it.
Whatever SmartFridge did early on in that first goal seemed to really confuse Vulcan, but now that we've seen Vulcan given a little time to breathe, it does seem like it's prepared to take on all of the aerial maneuvers that SmartFridge has been so good at thus far.
Bit of a double whiff there. Oh, the SmartFridge slamming it high into the post there. Vulcan going to take control. Looks like he might want to go off the wall here. Bit of an air dribble attempt there.
The double commit save from SmartFridge will send the ball high, although right into the waiting hands of another Vulcan who will hit the ball into its corner, maybe going for the boost. It doesn't take it, but sends the ball downfield into the blue corner here. Vulcan now getting it over the top of 2 SmartFridges, but doesn't have any gas in the tank for any kind of follow-up. SmartFridge taking the ball back into the orange half, sends it really high, but Vulcan is there for the follow-up, and I will say I'm really impressed with how high in the air these bots are willing to play. You know, a lot of these ML bots that we see, even in the top ranks like Nexto, are notoriously not too good in the air. And here we're seeing both Vulcan and SmartFridge are consistently jumping for the ball, flying up for these high shots. It's very impressive.
Yes, Vulcan there missing a pretty close shot, but here he comes again with another attack in the corner. SmartFridge, SmartFridge kind of doing a drive-by there, but the second Vulcan almost getting that shot in. Seems to just be a little bit too close to the wall to actually have an angle though. All right, second SmartFridge, take this up, get the 50 in the air. It's a setup for Vulcan though. The other SmartFridge isn't ready, and that's it.
1-2 now in favor of Vulcan. Really close game, honestly. But it does seem like Vulcan is just taking the edge a little bit. It seems like Vulcan is able to go for maybe even some higher shots in the air than SmartFridge. It seems to be just a little bit faster and just a little bit more coordinated. It's not quite clear which spot is superior just yet, but it does seem like Vulcan is taking the edge.
Ooh, Vulcan almost missing a touch there. Thankfully, the other Vulcan was in the net. SmartFridge getting it around another Vulcan. Bounces off the back wall. It's going to get caught by Vulcan. Alright. Oh, well, Vulcan seems to really love the wall here. It's instead of going for the goal, it does seem to take the ball and go up the wall for another hit. So, seems to farm that air touch reward a little bit. Oh, SmartFridge leaving the net open though. See if it can. Oh wow, barely getting that save.
Quite the save there from SmartFridge. Wow, sending it straight up into the air. Vulcan now going for possession. SmartFridge was not able to land a shot, leaving the ball in the position of Vulcan, who, yeah, you're completely right. Vulcan really favoring the wall here as it takes the ball up and goes for a shot, but shot is not good. SmartFridge in possession, and Vulcan with a miss, giving SmartFridge potentially an opportunity. The ball is going to be centered, but Vulcan is there for a good follow-up, a really high follow-up in the air before the ball is shootable. Now sending a shot on target, but SmartFridge is there. Second SmartFridge going for a follow-up, but can't quite make it. Vulcan is there for another shot. SmartFridge with the save, catching the ball and killing the momentum here. But, oh, wow, a nice little cut and lob here from the corner by Vulcan will bring us to a 1-3. What a clean shot and a nice way to win. Vulcan just scraping out the edge over SmartFridge and does seem to be the better bot right now.
Just look at that. Vulcan taking that 3-1 with only a minute left on the game, but yeah, this is the SmartFridge for today, I think. Yeah, I don't think it'll play another match. Unless Vulcan somehow beats Ripple. That would be interesting.
That would be quite an upset.
Dude. Let's see if Rolv fixes the experimental code that he was working with last week. Oh, no.
Yes, I'm not sure exactly what updates happened to Ripple this week. I think this is still version 0.11, but I believe the kickoffs have been being worked on. It seemed like Rolv and Soren were pretty interested in fixing some perceived issues with Ripple's kickoff, and I believe those are in now, so it'll be interesting to see how they go.
Yes. I think we should see a Ripple climb right now. Definitely could see that. Let's see. You could probably get through Necto again.
And that's a pretty good kickoff by Ripple, getting decent control, neutralizing the ball in the midfield, goes for the shot, but Vulcan is ready for the save here. Ripple, ball off the wall, and manages to get an easy little follow-up. It seemed like Vulcan just was not in position to save this slow-moving ball right in front of the net. Ripple with a easy shot right over the top, giving us an early lead.
Ripple looking a lot better this week. Look at that, already scoring within the first 12 seconds. So yeah, it's definitely doing better.
And another nice kickoff. There we go, Ripple winning the kickoff convincingly. Unfortunately, right into the waiting hands of Vulcan, who tries to send the ball on target. But yeah, great demo. Ripple managing to save itself from getting scored on. That probably would have been a shot on net. Ripple now going way up in the air. A really early jump to send the ball high. And the quick follow-up. Ripple looking a lot better than last week. You know, maybe last week it was just on tilt. It saw Ragnarok screaming through the ranks. It was terrified, and this week it's had some time to recover, sit down, and think about what it wants to do.
Another thing though about Ripple, I think it's the only bot that actually tactically demos. Like you could see, instead of going for the ball to try and get the save, they went for the demos, which was a very smart play. Like that's pretty impressive, I must say.
Yeah, Ripple is probably the first machine learning bot we've seen so far that really seems to know how to go for demos. It doesn't seem to just sort of accidentally hit the occasional demo here or there. It seems to purposefully actually be going for demos in an offensive way, which is really impressive.
Bit of an air dribble attempt there from Vulcan. Puts it in a pretty dangerous position, but Ripple wasn't really ready for that angle. Comes around again,
Ripple with
though.
a couple of backflip flicks here in the corner to try and center the ball. Vulcan just vying for possession in the blue corner, but Ripple seems to pretty consistently be coming out on top. They just will not let the ball go in the orange half here. Vulcan, maybe with a chance to break away now, finally gets possession, bringing the ball towards the wall. A nice high aerial shot towards the backboard, but it's a little off. Ripple now with a nice high lob field downfield manages to get the ball into the blue half. Ripple now
Another
stealing
demo.
the blue boost. Yeah, we had another demo coming in. Vulcan trying to send the ball towards the orange net, but can't quite make contact. Ripple with a really fast follow-up, but the shot is not on. The ball in a dangerous spot, though, as Vulcan goes up and does manage to get it clear. Ripple waiting in the midfield. Vulcan now trying to sell. Oh,
no!
Can't quite clear the ball in front of its own net and accidentally own goals. What a way to lose. That's so unfortunate. Vulcan just does not get the touch that it wanted, and the ball will go in 0-3, game over in favor of Ripple.
Tragic. What a way to end that match.
Still a good showing from both Vulcan and Ripple, I will say. Ripple looking particularly impressive. It seemed like those new kickoffs were doing pretty well. It'll be interesting to see how it does against Necto now.
If it could beat Necto, I think Ripple's back. I think he could do it.
Yeah, I hope
today.
so. I think mechanically Ripple is surely stronger than Necto. I'm hoping these new kickoffs will show us that we can get Ripple in those early positions that it needs to take a couple of quick goals and maybe secure an early win. We'll see how it goes. Kickoff here, neutral, Ripple taking possession. Necto there for an early challenge as Ripple thinks about going up the wall. Neither bot grabs the mid boost though, so low boost everywhere. Now flick over the top by Necto, that's what we know it for. Ripple's there to save. Ball's in the corner. Ripple clearing it downfield to the second Ripple, who jumps up high. Another wow, the ball's been in the air for so long here as Ripple is just passing it to itself and following up in the air. But unfortunately, nothing comes of it as Necto goes for a patented Necto flick, trying to go over the top. Unfortunately, not quite on target in the corner here. Ripple bringing it up the wall. And that looked like a midfield pass to me as Ripple goes for the aerial follow-up. Unfortunately, again, not quite on target. Necto now with possession of the ball.
Necto, even though it's probably weaker than Ripple, it still is showing a pretty big threat to the climb. Like, as you can see, it's blocking pretty much all the shots. It's giving a lot of pressure. It's not letting Ripple really take control right now. Although Ripple getting it around one Necto. The other Necto's a little bit out of position if the other Ripple can get this around. Oh, bit of a double commit, and that's it.
There we go, just squeaking out the 1-0 here in favor of Ripple after a really nice, a deft little touch with the back of the car to neutralize the ball in the midfield and go for the quick follow-up right over the top of two Nectos. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Necto, even though it's one of the older ML bots, it's still a really serious threat to some of the newer ones like Ripple, who is, of course, still actively training right now on the RLGM livestream. Necto has been tried and true. It really found that early on, catch and flick kind of meta that we saw Nexto improve on, and well, it turns out still pretty effective. So Necto is nothing to scoff at. As the ball is in Necto's half here, Ripple keeping it in Necto's corner. Seems like Ripple's able to do that pretty consistently, but wow, what a good shot here. From the right in front of the net, next to the corner, Ripple managing to squeak it right on by Nexto for a far post goal, or heading towards a far post goal.
Necto getting the wrong flip there. If it had done like a front flip, that would have had a higher chance of actually going out, but that was a good goal for Ripple. Oh, another good shot. Necto seems to just barely get that save, even though Ripple was there. Alright, Necto double committing again, but Ripple doesn't really get a nice power or anything. Necto trying to hit some stuff, but it's getting demoed now. Oh my gosh, Ripple missing another shot, but here he comes around again. Necto missing that, and that's it.
Wow, what a good shot. Ripple just banging it right off the wall here, going for a self-pass, quick little follow-up. Necto is just not there. Couldn't quite make contact with the ball on the wall, and that'll be 3-0. Quite the win for Ripple from last week.
Yeah, it looks like Ripple's back. It's climbing. Let's see. After Necto, it's got Opti hard-coded. Opti hard-coded actually put up a pretty good show against it last week, so we'll see if Ripple can come back from that.
Yeah, and Opti is one of the updated bots this week. So it'll be interesting to see how the changes to Opti and the changes to Ripple change their positioning on the ladder here.
Well, we'll see what happens. Again, with the hard-coded selector, it could be a little slow compared to Ripple. Ripple has pretty good decision making, so we'll see if that's the difference maker here. Because Opti's mechanics are pretty solid.
Yeah, last week it did seem like the primary weakness of Opti hard-coded was just its speed. It didn't seem to be able to make decisions quite fast enough. So we'll see how it goes. Ripple just about winning the kickoff here. Ball in the midfield. Opti going for a hit downfield, does get possession, but Ripple is there for the follow-up. Gets a bounce over the top. Ripple bringing it down the field, but Opti with a nice little aerial touch, sending it back into Ripple's half. Seems like a reasonably even game now in terms of possession. Opti with a nice little back pass. Look at that. Sends the ball long downfield as a follow-up. Ripple now sending it high and going for a touch in the air as another Ripple right behind it for another touch in the air. Tries to send it on target but doesn't quite make it. Opti with a beautiful flick over the top. But unfortunately, neither bot seems to be able to put the ball on target here. Opti going for what looks like a flick now right over the top, but the ball is just too high. Ripple with a good aerial touch to send it back downfield, but Opti does retreat in time, and this seems to be a really good match so far. It seems like both these bots are pretty evenly matched.
Opti consistently going for flicks here. Seems to be getting over the first Ripple a lot, but the second Ripple seems to rotate fast enough to get into the defense. Let's see. Ripple finally getting an attack here. Demo's one of the Optis, so this could be a good opportunity. The other Opti decides to go for another catch. Here it comes again. Those flicks are absolutely deadly. See if it can turn it around. Oh my gosh.
Looking an awful lot like Nexto now with all these catches and flicks. It's pretty deadly. It doesn't seem to be putting them quite as precisely on target, but yeah, Opti certainly favoring these flicks as we almost saw a goal there. Ripple now with a chance, but Opti is there for the save. Sending the ball very far down towards the blue half, but Ripple does jump up early, gets a decent touch. Trying to clear it out of midfield, but neither Ripple has much success as Opti gets a free shot, although it's reasonably easy to defend. But wow, what a flaw! An absolute banger from the midfield by Opti. Goes bar down and out, unfortunately. That would have been quite the goal. Now giving Ripple possession and an opportunity for a shot here. Opti is there. Ripple just does not seem to be able to maneuver the ball past Opti for long enough to get a decent shot. Opti not afraid to go for his flicks at all. A beautiful flick straight over the top and threading the needle here right through both of the Ripples. We get a 1-goal lead for Opti. It's 1-0 now. 2 minutes into the match.
Second Ripple barely missing that aerial. Seemed to have miscalculated its own speed and it wasn't able to get the ball. Opti looking really strong right now. It seems to be putting a lot of the pressure on Ripple. We seem to be in the blue half quite a bit. Oh, Opti with a bit of a double commit though. Ripple has a chance. Gets the demo. Oh, Opti, wow. Barely getting that save. Can he get the second one? Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Any bit slower and that would have not been saved. Oh, Opti with a strong shot.
Two incredible saves there and a decent shot down the field. Unfortunately, its shots don't seem to be very strong so far. Opti seems to be relying on this strategy of just keeping up that constant pressure, where it's taking pretty weak shot after pretty weak shot. They're not very precisely on target a lot of the time. Although, in fairness, Ripple has been pulling out some really good saves. It seems like Opti's main advantage so far has just been its ability to get a lot of shots off, and eventually it's managed to squeak one in. Otherwise, these bots seem to be really evenly matched, though.
Oh, Opti looking for that shot really close to the wall there. Almost gets it, but it barely bounces off the post. A good flick defense though. It really seems to know how to block those. And now it's sitting up, turtling incompetence. Turtling incompetent.
It doesn't care at all. It's like, I can just lie here. I don't need it. It'll be fine. I've got another teammate for that. Did seem to manage to stand up though, as Ripple now has control of the ball in near Opti's goal, but we have two good challenges here, one in the corner, one in the midfield by the same Opti, although Ripple manages to finally get the demo in the midfield. The ball floating in front of its net. Opti is here, hovering, ready for a shot, but doesn't get the opportunity. Decent challenge in the midfield. Ripple will go for the quick follow-up over the top and manages to get the ball right over and out of position Opti defender, tying the game up with 1 minute left. This is probably the closest match we've seen.
Yes, Opti not jumping fast enough there. I think that might be due to the hard-coded selector not really knowing which model to choose there. That's the advantage that Ripple has. We'll see. Ripple takes a really strong power shot. Opti getting that nice save though. Comes another one. Gets blocked again by the same Opti. Ripple continuing the pressure though. Seems to be going for another demo, but that didn't really have a boost to manage that, I suppose. Alright, here comes Opti with another dribble. Another good flick. Power shot. Oh, bit of a miss there. Ripple now is going to take it around. It's going up the wall. Takes another hit. It does kind of just send it to Opti though. They're kind of just bouncing back and forth, seeing who can throw away possession harder. Alright, here comes Ripple though. Taking a bit of a flick approach maybe. Drops the ball. Has a good opportunity here. And that's it.
Wow, what a good follow-up here. Ripple manages to get a decent bump on Opti, sending it into an awkward spot, rolling the ball right up the wall, and as soon as that ball was scoreable, the other Ripple was up in the air right at the very top of the net, sending it straight under the crossbar for a very nice goal, bringing the lead back in favor of Ripple now.
Yeah, it's only like 14 seconds left on the match. I don't know what Opti's going to be able to do here. Oh, doesn't jump for it again.
Absolutely nothing, as Opti is caught confused on the goal line. Ripple with almost the same shot there, just a little bit of a slower follow-up, rolling the ball up the wall on the side of the net and jumping to follow it up right in the air, just sinking the ball in. Opti, unfortunately, didn't jump. It seemed like it didn't quite know what to do, and Ripple will take that game 3-1. Very close game, but Ripple did come out ahead.
Yeah, that was an insanely close match, and well, until it wasn't, I suppose, until Opti gave up there. But now we're going against Opti General Purpose. So this is just kind of a dedicated who's bot, no selector or anything. So it could have the speed advantage on Ripple now.
Yeah, this one I'm skeptical Ripple will win. It seemed like when we were watching last week, Opti-GP was really strong. It seemed to have not too many weaknesses. You know, the only one pulling ahead was Ragnarok, who had this sort of extremely fast, very aerial kind of playstyle that Ripple just does not have. So I think Opti-GP is going to be a lot stronger against Ripple than it was against Ragnarok, and I think that's probably going to give it the edge. But we'll see here as the first kickoff goes in favor of Ripple. Not a good shot on target and a really good save to clear follow-up by Opti. The ball now in the blue half. Opti and Ripple going up. Opti beats Ripple to the ball, but there's no follow-up here as Ripple brings the ball back downfield. Almost a really good shot on target over the top here, but Opti does manage to catch it, going for a decent little air carry, but unfortunately Ripple was there to save it. Would have been a good shot. Now Ripple goes for the demo. Wow, what an incredible, incredible demo, and it even drove in front of the net almost as though it was looking for the follow-up defender for the second demo, and this second Ripple downfield is just leisurely carrying the ball right downfield into the empty net. What a beautiful bit of team play there.
Yes, that was good. I don't think any other bot in this entire tournament does that besides Ripple. Definitely a trademark. Very cool to see.
Yeah, that was really good. Now, the ball here, we're 1-0 in favor of Ripple. Opti gets possession of the ball, flicks it over the top, but the second Ripple is there with a nice little boomer. Oh my, straight over the top and right in the net. Ripple does not seem to be perturbed at all by Opti. We have one flick, the Ripple going for the challenge manages to just slam Opti straight out of the way. Second Ripple is ready for the follow-up, sends it right in the net over the top with complete confidence. We're 2-0 in favor of Ripple here. This is looking like it's going to be a shutout for Ripple.
Yeah, this is not really at all what we expected. Looks like maybe the hard-coded selector definitely did seem to be choosing pretty good models there, I must say. And Ripple's getting all the demos today.
Oh, another demo. Ripple is just absolutely ruthless. Has a pretty poor setup, sends it, you know, slowly rolling up the wall. Opti here, decent catch, but Ripple is there for the demo and just sends the ball right into the net, no problem at all. these demos are really coming in favor of Ripple here.
Demos are so strong here because most bots don't know how to dodge them. I think the only bot that I've really seen try and dodge demos was like, hold on, Bumbler, but that bot's not here. So Ripple just has free reign to get all the demos in the world.
Now we're going to see a really exciting matchup. This was the poster boy last weekend. Ragnarok showed its debut, and it looked incredibly strong. It was just screaming up the bracket, taking out every bot in its path, including Ripple, but that was before the update, so we'll see, can the new changes to Ripple maybe even the playing field against Ragnarok? I'm really excited to find out as we get into the game here.
The ultimate rematch, here we go. Alright, so if I'd say Ripple can, oh wait, Ripple catching Ragnarok in a bad position. Ragnarok coming off the wall and didn't really have a good chance to like jump up for that. Ripple takes full advantage.
Yeah, and you can see those kickoffs now really coming in handy as Ripple gets an early advantage. Ragnarok doesn't quite get the touch that it wants, can't make the follow-up, and Ripple will sink a very clean goal right into the bottom corner behind Ragnarok. So we have a 1-0 lead here, second kickoff. Not quite going the same way for Ripple. Ragnarok trying to get the shot. Can't make it as the defender is demoed. Ragnarok now sending the ball back towards its own half. The second Ragnarok is maybe ready, but doesn't quite get a touch. Ragnarok sending the ball high. Ripple here for the follow-up, but bad touch. Ragnarok trying to catch the ball right in front of its own net. Playing a dangerous game as it gets demoed, but it does manage to send the ball high enough. Out of danger, Ragnarok now trying to go gain possession here. It does get the ball and manages to take it up its own wall and flick towards the midfield. The aerial follow-up is there, but Ripple is ready to defend. Ball in the blue half. Ripple sends it far. Ragnarok going for the catch, and well, this is a position that Ragnarok is really comfortable in. You see it just sticks the ball right on its hood and drives it around in its own half here. Ragnarok now doing, you know, it really seems to like to just drive in circles in front of its own net. I'm not sure what's with that. But Ripple with a great challenge in the midfield, abusing that positioning by Ragnarok, manages to get a near shot off the post and then a quick follow-up, bringing it 2-0. Ragnarok just does not seem to be able to keep up right now against this seemingly much more aggressive Ripple than what we saw last week.
Ragnarok is good, but it might be a little too gimmicky for Ripple. Ripple being trained off of all those like SSL replays and whatnot. It's got a lot of strategies, even trying to go for more demos right now. And one thing I have noticed about Ragnarok right now is that it doesn't really like to jump. When it's really close to its goal, it really wants to catch that ball, and Ripple will just go for the aerial every single time. Oh, bit of a pass there, but might be a little too far. Gonna go for another circle here. Another classic flick.
It's patented backflip off the wall, and oh, what a great shot here. We get a reasonably weak flick that sends the ball high, but right into the waiting arms of the second Ragnarok at the midfield, who will send the ball straight downfield right into the net. 2-1 now. The game is not quite as much of a shutout as we thought it was.
Yeah,
but Ripple's still up by 1.
Ripple hadn't jumped for that fast enough, but oh, here we go. Ripple getting a good clear. Ragnarok with follow-up, though. Not quite in. Wow, that was a good clear. That was pretty good. I don't think I've seen a bot really do that. Ripple barely getting that little touch to redirect that ball further. Ragnarok doing its classic flicks off the wall. Coming around again. Could have another attempt here. I think it's on target. Oh, not quite. Not quite. Ragnarok trying to get the pressure up, but Ripple just keeping calm. Going around Ragnarok again. Ragnarok says, oh wait, that's a great 50 and puts Ripple in the perfect position to score that.
Wow, Ripple just muscling the ball on through here. Gets a beautiful 50 straight underneath Ragnarok and pushes the ball into net. An easy follow-up will secure the game. Ripple taking the surprise, I think, win here against Ragnarok. It felt like it didn't stand a chance last week, but Ripple winning almost too easily now against Ragnarok in this game. Wow, I can't help but wonder: was it only the kickoff changes? Are we seeing some kind of an updated model? What happened? Ripple has been working out this week.
Yeah, Rolv definitely has something working behind the scenes. He must have updated the model. There's no way.
But now we will see Ripple versus Nexto. Now this is a game. I think Nexto almost certainly going to pull out the win here, but maybe one day we'll see that time where Ripple manages to take out Nexto, its predecessor.
Nexto does have those flicks, and that seems to be one of the weaknesses that Ripple has. While it can block them, Nexto's flicks are just out of this world. It's like completely unique to Nexto. So, but we'll
Yeah.
see if Ripple can outplay Nexto in the other fields. Oh, there's the demo. That could be a very good tactic against Nexto. But one Nexto does seem to be defending the one Ripple. Oh, that's a great shot, and Ripple's not ready for it. Bit of an overcommit.
Yep. Here the problem is Nexto really, we know Nexto for its flicks, but you gotta remember we know Nexto for its flicks because it was able to beat Cade up in the 1v2 with those flicks and a whole bunch of other pros, right? So its flicks are insanely good, but that's not to mention the rest of its gameplay. Nexto is just overall a good Rocket League game playing bot. Everywhere it doesn't have too many weaknesses. You could say aerials for sure, I would agree. In the air it's not super strong, but even then, it's probably just as strong as the next strongest aerial bot that we can see right now. So I think Nexto is definitely a major contender here, especially against Ripple. I'm not sure if we're going to see it pull out. But here, a great demo on the goal line, and I think you're completely right for the follow-up here. Ripple managing to tie up the game. I think you're totally right about this demo idea. I think Nexto, that's probably its one other major weakness is demos. Nexto never seems to jump for demos. It never seems to go for demos, and that might be the way that Ripple can secure an advantage.
Yeah, this is one of the ways that humans have found to beat Nexto. Just demo it. It doesn't really know how to dodge it. It will sometimes, but most of the time it will not. And as you can see, another demo secures another goal.
Wow, look at that. Ripple going in for another demo and another goal. I think, you know what? This could be it, actually. Ripple seems to be abusing this weakness of Nexto. This is like it's like an exploitation bot, Look at that. Well, if Nexto doesn't dodge the demos, then, well, I'll take him happily. Ripple now, again, another demo right off the kickoff, and oh my god, I've eaten my words. 3-1, Ripple has actually beaten Nexto with a brutal back-to-back-to-back series of demos straight into goal. Nexto is just lost. It does not know what to do against these demos. What an upset.
I cannot believe what I just saw. 3 consecutive demo goals in the span of like 30 seconds, and that was the win. That was the win. Oh my gosh. That really shows the exploiting weakness is pretty good. But oh, would you look at that? We get to see Seer at least one last time before the final tournament.
This is the bot everybody wants to see. Unfortunately, we've seen it the least since it seems to be the best, but now we have a challenger, Ripple, going up against Seer. We'll have to see, is Seer going to be just as weak as Nexto to these demos? I mean, I didn't think Nexto would succumb to the demo strategy that Ripple seems to have, but here we are. It was not even a close game against Nexto, so we'll have to see how it goes. Seer versus Ripple now. Getting into the game, the kickoff going in favor of Seer. Ripple on the goal line manages to clear out of the corner. Seer with a nice little backflip pop, sending the ball high with a follow-up off the wall. Ripple is there, but Seer just getting a bunch of little, tiny touches to send the ball just over the top of Ripple, making it really awkward. Seer now bouncing the ball off the wall at the midfield. Ripple is there. Seer with a follow-up. Shot is not good. Seer even manages to grab the boost here. Now we see the defending Ripple, no boost, goes for an early follow-up, but the back Seer is there to keep the ball in the blue half. A lot of pressure from Seer here, and Ripple does eventually succumb to that pressure. Seer following it up with a nice little goal straight over the top on the goal line.
I know this is looking dire, like really dire, but I think Ripple could employ the same tactic that it did against Nexto, because earlier in this match, Ripple got a bump, and instead of having to deal with Seer's shot, it just had to bump it out of the way, right? And Seer didn't really seem prepared for it. So maybe there's a small chance that Ripple could pull something off. But yeah, I
think maybe if Ripple could find like a moment to get an opportunity to demo or bump, then it could happen, but it seems like Seer is just a little bit too fast, and it just has really incredible ball control. You can see these touches just bouncing off the wall for the quick follow-up. It left the ball for the teammate there. This is a good kickoff, a really good follow-up. This ball control is just incredible. Ripple with a nice defense on the goal line here, but Back into the waiting hands of Seer, who's going for a high shot. Lob off the wall, doesn't quite manage to make it. And you can see here, Ripple just does not seem to get an opportunity to do anything. Although, yeah, well, a decent bump there does interrupt the play. Unfortunately, it's just not enough. See, Seer still in control of the ball. Goes for a flick towards the midfield, and yep, the follow-up is good. Seer taking a convincing 3-0 win.
Yeah, it seems like nothing is able to even tickle Seer right now. I wonder if we'll see any bots in the future that can actually at least compete with it, because right now, nothing.
Yeah, Seer seems to be, like very well rounded, right? We saw Seer with some really nice touches off the wall at the midfield, some really good control every time it got the ball in its hood. Didn't seem to be too afraid of the air. It even went for some setups off the wall for itself there, and it just has this incredible sort of pressure. We saw the ball very rarely left Ripple's half there. So yeah, Seer seems to be dominating the bracket right now.
Yes, agreed. Well, after that, absolutely exciting match. We're now going to start going down the bracket. So we got Ragnarok versus Opti-GP. Although general purpose Opti today hasn't seemed as strong as the hard-coded one, I got to be honest, it put more of a hard-coded one put up more of a fight against Ripple. So I don't think it'll beat Ragnarok. I don't, but maybe it'll do something. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the bracket shakes up. Here we have Ragnarok versus Opti-GP. Of course, Ragnarok came out on top last week, although Ragnarok has not been updated and Opti has. We'll see if those changes can bring it any kind of advantage against Ragnarok's very passive and sort of going for these shots off the wall kind of play style from its own half. Now, Opti here we have in possession of the ball, going for the flick, but Ragnarok's challenge is good, sending the ball high into the midfield. Second, Opti opts to back off there, and unfortunately is not able to defend the shot from Ragnarok over the top. We have an early 1-goal lead in favor of Ragnarok with a nice little high shot.
You can see Opti not even jumping for that one, just realized it was over.
It was like, yeah, well, no point. Yeah.
Pretty much.
All right, second kickoff now going in favor of Opti. Ragnarok with no boost, doesn't manage to get a touch in the midfield, but doesn't matter. The second Ragnarok's there for the defense, getting it over the top of one of the Optis, leaving it for the teammate. Ragnarok now going for a shot. What a beautiful flick, a beautiful flick straight over the top into the far corner. That was such power on that and the height. What a nice flick here, bringing you 2-0 in favor of Ragnarok. This doesn't seem like the matching is going to shift any here on the bracket. It seems like Ragnarok is pretty securely better than Opti.
Yes, that flick is absolutely insane. I don't think maybe Nexto could do that, but like those types of flicks are just absolutely beautiful to watch. Opti with a good save there, though. Seems to have read Ragnarok correctly. Ragnarok positioning a little interestingly here. Does seem to get it around Opti, though. Gets bumped. Alright, second Ragnarok coming for the shot. It's too high. Second Ragnarok can't quite get that in because Opti was there as well. Opti trying to put on some pressure. Gets a really powerful flick, just not on target. Oh, another Opti coming in. Bounces off the wall. Ragnarok. Oh, it seems to back off after it saw Ragnarok there. Gets demoed by Ragnarok. Well, wow. I guess I was wrong about Ripple being the only one doing demos. That was certainly something.
Yeah, Ragnarok taking a page out of Ripple's book, just going straight for the defender as the second Ragnarok just carries the ball, not a thought in his head, no care in the world, just leisurely driving the ball into the net. He knows his teammates got the demo, and it's going to be a clear 3-0 win for Ragnarok there, not changing his position on the ladder.
All right, next up we got the Optis versus each other. So let's see.
It did seem earlier like the hard-coded version of Opti was a lot faster than what we saw last weekend. Opti-GP didn't seem like it was exhibiting too many differences from what we saw before, so we'll see if Opti hard-coded can manage to take the spot here.
Yeah, I certainly think hard-coded Opti does have a good chance of beating the general purpose one today. General purpose not looking so hot right now. But we'll see if it can hold up against its hard-coded brother. Alright, comes
EP
with a
getting
dribble.
possession off the kickoff, goes for a nice little dribble, but it is defended by Hardcoded. Now Hardcoded gets a chance, catches the ball on top, looks like it's going for a flick, just like GP did, but GP is there to defend. So far, both strategies of selecting which model to use are looking pretty good as Hardcoded goes in for a bounce off the wall to set itself up, but GP is there, ready to defend. Ball goes high into the blue corner here. Hardcoded coming back. Looks like it's setting up for a shadow defense against the flick coming in from GP. Gets a good save. No problem on that. It seems like we're just trading flick after flick here as GP now turns around to shadow to the defense, grabs a corner boost near its net, and the flick is not quite good. GP sending the ball towards the midfield. Hardcoded not able to land the catch there. GP clearing the ball more towards the orange net here, but unfortunately not able to follow up as the clear goes high. GP catches the ball. Here we go for another flick again. Oh, maybe not a flick, a little jump, quick air carry. GP scores the first goal here. This was a nice little shot right down the field, very close, but unfortunately Hardcoded was not quite able to get there.
Yeah, something I have noticed about the hard-coded one as well is that whatever flick defense model is using is very good, but it looks like it's not quite ready for those like double jump pops. That is certainly a tactic that's not very often used. It's usually just a straight up flick with as much power as possible, like that, but it still gets defended. And here comes General Purpose again with another another dribble. We'll see who has the better dribbles today. Hardcoded defending it again, though. It's certainly choosing the right models right now. Well, gets a pretty strong flick again. As you said before, it's just trading flicks right now. Oh, that's a bad touch, though.
Ooh. Yeah, unfortunately, bad touch there. Manages to make contact with the wheels at the back of its car, which would have had more power, sending the ball in a neutral position straight down, and GP is there for a really quick follow-up. Still a nice shot, although it could have taken its time a little more there, making it 2-0. It seems like GP is probably going to keep its spot on the ladder.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised because Hardcoded did pretty good against, Ripple, but General Purpose did not, and now General Purpose is beating Hardcoded. So I guess it's just kind of like a rock, paper, scissors situation, right? One bot beats the other.
Yep, now we have the ball in the hard-coded half. Goes for the clear right in front of its own net. Manages to get far as GP is not there for any kind of challenge. Now the ball in the blue half here. GP able to get a reasonable challenge there, but still left the ball up to Hardcoded, who did not manage to get a good follow-up. Now GP just driving the ball downfield, and wow, you know, if it works, it works. Just put the ball on your hood and drive in a straight line. Hey, what can I say? GP taking a third goal, 3-0 over Hardcoded. Yep, the bracket is not going to change there. GP is still a little better than Hardcoded.
Yeah. Those double jump pops scored 2 goals for General Purpose there. Seems like Hardcoded was quite ready for that. But yeah, look at that. Stays the same. I'm still kind of surprised. I thought it would be a closer match than that, though, to be honest. Thought Hardcoded could at least put in some goals. Either way,
All right,
though.
next up, Necto versus Opti Hardcoded. This should be an interesting match. I feel like Necto was putting up a pretty good performance earlier. I'm hopeful, but of course, Hardcoded also seemed to have some really good changes this weekend, so maybe it'll keep its spot.
Maybe. Honestly, I highly doubt it'll lose to Necto, but then again, Ripple lost to Necto at some point, so maybe Necto will pull off some magic, right?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Here we're getting into the game. First kickoff, we have Opti on the blue team, Necto on the orange. Kickoff, neutralized. Necto going in for a quick shot off the follow-up, but Opti is there. Necto now repositioning down the field, trying to go for the catch. We've seen this hundreds of times now. Necto a flick over the top of one of the Optis. Ball goes high off the wall. Necto is there for another catch. Quick flick right over the top. Ooh, barred down and in off the second. What a beautiful flick by Necto. Opti, you can see, almost manages to get the catch, but really it was very passive there. I think Opti needed to go for a much more aggressive play here in order to stop Necto, and here we have a 1-0 lead in favor of Necto.
Normally it would try and defend that flick, but I guess Necto just has that special touch, right? It's the original, the original bot that had these like super powerful flicks. So, got that secret ingredient, right?
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Alright, here comes Opti around the corner, not quite getting around both Nectos. Necto's still on defense here. Now it's pulling it around. Alright, let's see if Opti can defend this flick. Yeah, does that successfully. More aggression this time. Oh, Necto misreading a wall bounce. And another Necto barely in position to save that though. Now coming out of the corner with a bit of a double commit, bit of a teammate interference. Opti easily saved that. Wasn't on the hood of Necto, so couldn't really get that flick. Necto coming in for an aerial, but gets beat out by Opti, and that's straight in.
Yeah, a good high shot there. Necto going up for one of the rare aerial challenges that we sometimes see from it, but it is not able to beat Opti, who is just too fast in the air, tying up the game here, just over a minute in. Now, coming in on the kickoff. So far, the kickoffs have been reasonably neutral, although this one going in favor of Opti. Necto now backing out for the corner boost, manages to get it over the top of Opti, and a bump as Necto tries to challenge. Opti, though, in the air, manages to hit the ball, not quite on target, but back into the orange half here, keeping up the pressure as Necto has no boost, just getting bumped around by Opti. Leaves it for the teammate, though, as the other Necto brings it down the field into a challenge by Opti, who does win, getting a bounce off the wall, but the follow-up is not there as Necto retakes possession. However, second Opti just is too fast in the air. Necto, you can see, not willing to jump high like Opti is, as Opti on the goal line manages to sink a shot down in the air after Necto sends it high in a attempt to clear.
Yeah, height difference really showing itself here. Necto didn't even think about jumping for that, not even when it saw Opti in the air, so it really just didn't know what to do.
Yeah,
Necto again.
Opti at aerials here than Necto. This was, of course, before even Nexto's level of performance in the air. Necto was not particularly good, pretty afraid of jumping up in the air, and we can see Opti definitely taking advantage of that now as Opti flicks it over the top of one down the midfield, but the defender Necto is there. Opti now maybe trying to go for the catch, but Necto beats it to the ball. We have a defender, Opti, clearing it into the corner here. Necto getting a little aggressive as they both try to get the ball here. But the ball does land into the possession of Opti as Necto following close behind itself in a shadow defense, but unfortunately that'll put them both out of position as the clear is not good and Opti is up in the air very quickly for this one. There's a high clear off the backboard, but Opti was ready, and we have 3-1 in favor of Opti, who maintains its position on the bracket.
All right. That'll be another lock for the top bracket here. Looks like we're just kind of like filling in all the spots, and the only thing that's going to really be left is the lower bracket.
Yeah, the upper bracket not too upset this week, but of course with the exception of Ripple making a surprise appearance and moving up to the top two. Now we'll have Necto versus Vulcan. I suspect Necto is probably going to come out on top here. Vulcan obviously looking very good and did seem to be reasonably comfortable going up in the air, but I think Necto is probably going to manage to come out here just because Necto's flicks are still absolutely deadly at this level.
Agreed. Vulcan does have a weakness to flicks, so Necto is kind of a perfect counter for that. Although Vulcan does aerial quite a bit more than Necto, so let's see if we can take advantage of that to hopefully put in a bit of a challenge. Alright, Vulcan coming in with some possession, going up the wall as it usually does. Doesn't really put that on target, but it does seem to confuse the Nectos a little bit. Oh, almost put that in, but not quite. Now Necto's going to take its usual possession. Comes the flick. Yeah, Vulcan not able to read that and bar down. Goodness. Deja vu.
Yep, there's the Necto flick that so many bots had so much trouble with for a long time, managing to bring Necto into an early lead here, 1-0 after just about 30 seconds into this game. Here, going into the kickoff now, we have Necto taking possession once again. And, last goal we saw, there was a brief chance here by Vulcan going up in the air over the top of both Nectos on the goal line. That's probably going to be its best bet, just going for these aerial shots. But that can only happen if it can manage to defend Nexto's brutal flicks for long enough to get possession. Which, here, Vulcan sending the ball downfield. Unfortunately, Necto does catch it. However, that Necto got demoed. So we have another Vulcan coming in here. Necto over the top of one, catches, goes in for the second carry and sends the ball high, unfortunately right past Vulcan. That was a convincing 1v2 here by Necto from its goal line, straight down the field into the enemy net, past both defenders.
I was expecting a flick, but the double jump hop seems to really have worked there.
Yeah, we don't see too many of those by Necto, but it can do them.
Vulcan in a pretty dangerous position. Gets a good clear though. It's going out the wall. Its favorite spot in the world. Gets a high aerial. Necto does seem to have been waiting pretty far back though. Gets a nice little clear. Now it's going to take possession. Over one. And the other Vulcan almost out of position there. Gets back just in time. Wow, gets that hit. It doesn't really go anywhere though. That's a good shot, but not on target. Necto trying to get possession. Gets it. Here comes a flick. Oh, bit of a miss one. But Vulcan gets a shot. Necto kind of just puts itself in front of the ball there. Oh, here comes another one. Oh, wow. Barely Vulcan getting the save there. Manages to fit. Oh, wait. What happened there? Can't really see. Oh, okay, there we go. Necto going for another possession. This time only one Vulcan back, so yeah, that's pretty free. It seems like Vulcan almost had a strategy figured out there, with one of them baiting the flick and then the other one getting the save, but in this situation there wasn't the opportunity to do that, and that was straight in.
Yeah, Vulcan with, a reasonable strategy here against Necto. I think with a little more time in the oven, it probably could have pulled it out, but unfortunately, Vulcan just doesn't seem to be quite as confident with those mechanics that we can see are kind of emerging. It seems to be pretty good at these kinds of aerials, pretty good at the high shots, but just not quite enough to manage to beat out the brutal consistency of Necto, so... Necto managing to stay at number 7, did not fall out of the top 8, although, it's really low on the leaderboard, particularly compared to just a year or two ago with ML bots. So Necto, not as strong as it once was. We've seen a huge number of ML bots seem to be coming up these days, and I'm really happy to see that.
Alright, next match is NDroid versus Monkey. Pretty big jump, skipping 3 bots or so. And now we're moving down into the lower bracket. Stream's pretty close to ending at this point. Only a couple matches left to run. I think I'm leaning more towards NDroid winning this one. Monkey, while he's alright, but NDroid's really fast, and Monkey's just not really used to that gameplay. As you can see, he doesn't even go for that. There's
that NDroid speed coming out right on cue. Monkey just not fast enough to the ball here as NDroid sinks a quick shot from the midfield into the net. We have a 1-0 lead now in favor of NDroid, only 10 seconds into the game here. Now, I think I tend to agree with you. Probably Monkey, I think, is not going to be able to squeak this one past, but, it put up a good showing earlier, so maybe we'll have an upset as NDroid sends the ball down towards the orange half. Monkey there doesn't go for the clear, decides to do the solo play as NDroid backs off, but that'll come back to bite it as NDroid comes in with a 50, sending the ball back into Monkey's corner. NDroid now hitting the ball, going for the setup. Monkey with a good 50 here right in front of the net. NDroid doesn't seem to be able to set up any good scoring opportunities here while both of the Monkeys are back, which is promising. Monkey now trying to clear the ball down to the midfield, but NDroid is just very fast, going for a good 50. Unfortunately, doesn't manage to make the shot. Monkey maybe trying for follow-up, but NDroid beats it to the ball here in the midfield. The ball now still in the orange half. This is a familiar sight as the ball is ready to be shot, but there's no one there to defend and no one there to follow up the shot. I think all the bots may be missing out on that opportunity. Monkey goes for the flick over the top, but NDroid is there for a challenge. Lobs the ball high, but the second NDroid isn't there for the follow-up shot as Monkey catches the ball and starts to drive it down the field. NDroid perfectly happy to 50 over and over again in the midfield, but doesn't seem to be quite able to set up many scoring opportunities as Monkey is there, grabbing the ball over the top. Oh no!
Oh.
just as I say something, Monkey, unfortunately, a little team interference as one of them goes to clear the ball in front of the net and the other one tries to clear the ball away from the net. They bump into each other and NDroid is right there for the shot. 2-0 now in favor of NDroid.
Monkey not doing as bad as I thought he would, I'm going to be honest. He does seem to be holding his own on these 50s and stuff. Actually gets it over NDroid. It's going to require quite a bit of effort to actually score anything, though. It's a good save. Alright, it's going down the field. Not a favorable bounce, I would say. Monkey getting a pretty bad 50 there. Not a great situation for him to be in. NDroid's not putting that on target. Pretty high aerial though. Oh, this is dangerous. NDroid not actually showing up for that shot. Even though he's really fast, sometimes he will miss out. Monkey can't quite get that flick. NDroid does seem to have that good flick defense. Oh, this could be a free shot for NDroid. Ah, not quite. Monkey barely being able to clear that out. Now, comes up the wall. NDroid barely missing that. NDroid just keeps reading Monkey over and over again. Every flick, every bounce, every touch, really. But it doesn't seem to really be going towards the goal a whole lot sometimes. Seems to really like that that corner. Monkey, however, confused in its own goal. Gets it around one NDroid, who then proceeds to wall dash all the way back to its to defense. And now Monkey trying to get around. Not quite. Monkey's not anywhere near fast enough to really go for that shot, and that one is gonna go straight in.
Yep, NDroid over the top, securing that 3-0 lead. Yeah, Monkey just not fast enough. NDroid consistently beating it to the ball, and although NDroid wasn't able to set up too many shot opportunities for itself, it eventually squeaked a couple of them through, and here we are, 3-0, NDroid beating out Monkey.
Oh, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. Especially against a bot that knows how to aerial. Monkey's not gonna do very well. So yeah, I'm not too displeased with that. All right, next up though, Monkey versus Vector, and I think Vector takes this one as well. Vector knowing how to aerial really well, knows how to flick really well, all those different things, and Monkey's probably going to collapse under that.
Yeah, I think my money's on Vector here as well. Vector, like I said, just a pretty good all-around game-playing bot, and Monkey, I think, definitely seemed a little bit slow, especially against NDroid, and I don't think Vector is all that much slower than NDroid, so we'll see how it goes here, but I'm going to put my money on Vector.
Alright, starting off though, here we go. Now, Monkey has actually beat Vector in ones every once in a while, which is kind of funny, but no idea about twos. Oh, that's interesting save there, putting it to the other corner, not the one I expected. Vector coming around, has a good shot opportunity, gets blocked by Monkey again. Monkey now taking possession, coming off the wall. Vector a little confused here, but manages to eventually get the hit. Alright, now Vector coming around from the corner again. Gets blocked by Monkey again. It seems kind of like a cycle right now. Vector keeps going around the corner.
Getting juggled in the blue corner here as both bots are doing their best, but unfortunately Vector never able to line up quite the shot. And it seems like, oh wow, what a save at the midfield here. Monkey with a really nice tip to the side. Vector, okay, well, we had so much going on there, I got lost for words. So at first we had a really nice shot at the midfield. Monkey coming in with an uncharacteristically fast defense, sending the ball straight off the wall into a bounce here. But Vector was there, able to get the follow-up. The shot was not on target. And then the second Vector coming in from behind gets another shot, so we have 3 rapid-fire shots from Vector there. Save after save. Unfortunately, Monkey not able to get that final save, just a little out of position, and now it's 1-0 in favor of Vector. Although, just as I say that, Monkey getting a nice clean shot, a little self-setup here, setting up the bounce off the wall, and just a quick touch right over the top. Both Vectors now tying up the game 1-1, only a minute in.
Alright, yeah, I think it's going to depend on how well Monkey can dribble around Vector and how well he can keep the pressure up on that defense. Alright, Monkey coming up again. Vector could have a pretty good hit on here, but it gets a little bit of double commit. Alright, both Monkeys trying to get this ball. Vector takes a shot. Not quite on, but the follow-up also isn't on. Alright, Monkey trying to clear this. Gets blocked by Vector again. Both Monkeys out of boost, it seems like. Oh yeah, Vector going around. Monkey barely getting that save. Doesn't quite jump for that, but the other Monkey is there. Goodness. Alright, here comes Monkey with a bit of a push dribble.
With a breakaway, doesn't quite manage to get it. Vector sending the ball far. Oh no, Monkey in the back, not able to make contact on the land there. The ball just goes right over the top, and Vector is there for a follow-up, an easy sink into the open net now. Unfortunate miss from Monkey, bringing us a 1-2 lead in favor of Vector. But, you know, so far these bots seem to be pretty closely matched. I will say I think my prediction was a little off. I thought Vector was going to be more convincingly in the lead here, but So far, a reasonably even match as the ball now in the blue half, although I will say Monkey doesn't seem to have had too much possession compared to Vector, and feels like Vector has had a lot of pressure this game, but Monkey able to keep up on the defensive side, now with an offensive opportunity, doesn't manage to get a flick over the top of either Vector, as they send the ball back into the blue half, and a double commit into a double commit. Vector, unfortunately, not able to land the shot, but that was an interesting little play, as the ball is now in the orange half. Monkey trying to just sort of push it on through, but Vector's just glued with itself here, not willing to part with either the ball or its teammate. The ball now going downfield into the blue half. One Monkey versus two Vectors that are stuck together here. It's been for a few seconds now, and Vector, over the top. A nice high, slow shot does get saved by Monkey, but the follow-up is good, and Vector brings out the win 1-3 now. What an interesting game.
Yeah, it was a lot closer than I thought it would be. I'm not gonna lie. Monkey being super grounded managed to actually keep Vector at bay for quite a while. All right,
Yeah, that was a much closer game than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of Monkey. He's doing all right. He's doing his best. All right. Next up, though, we have Monkey versus Electron. Both of them are one spots, so could be an interesting match.
Yeah, I think with how close that game against Vector was, I think Monkey's probably got the edge against Electron. It seemed like Electron, maybe needs a little more time. Wasn't quite able to keep up with some of these other bots in the lower bracket. And I think Monkey is probably going to manage to come out on top here. We'll see.
We'll see, as long as he doesn't throw.
All right, coming into the first kickoff, we have Monkey on the blue team and Electron on the orange. Kickoff coming out now, pretty in favor of Electron. It seems like Electron does have a pretty good kickoff. Not sure if that's hard-coded or learned. The ball in the blue half. All right, and Electron taking a nice, quick 1-0 lead here, 10 seconds in, as it gets the ball right over the top of Monkey, who seems to be in no rush to keep up with the ball here. Ball just rolling in front of Monkey's net, and Electron does sink the ball.
Yeah, the deciding factor here might just be the fact that Electron's kickoff completely destroys Monkey's.
Yeah, Electron definitely seems to have the advantage on the kickoff, as it wins once again, getting the ball early into the blue half, and all of the bots sort of clump together right up in the corner as the ball is rolling down the wall. But we do end up with possession in favor of Monkey, trying to take the ball downfield with a good challenge by Electron to keep it in the middle. Now, no bot ending with a good possession here, as Electron squares up against itself to try and get a 50 against Monkey. Monkey takes possession, sending the ball downfield into the orange corner here, as Electron tries to go for the clear with not a great touch. Monkey now trying to set up a shot, but just is not in a very good spot. That was an awkward position. Electron managing to take possession here, goes for a shot, but the challenge is good by Monkey, who sends it back to the midfield line, and another follow-up challenge by Monkey, bringing it towards the orange goal. A nice little bump by Electron, though, will bring the possession back in favor of Electron, who catches the ball and then gets bumped by the defender. Monkey now sending it back to the orange half, getting bumped again. Well, a lot of physical plays here, as all the bots seem to just be going straight for the ball. Electron now, though, with a decent breakaway shot. The ball slowly rolling towards the net, and the follow-up is good. 2-0 in favor of Electron. It looks like I'm going to eat my words again. Man, I never make the right prediction, huh?
Yeah, Monkey just, I don't know, just phased out of this one. Played so well in the last game, and now it's just, Seems to be, I guess, last game wore him out, Put everything he added to that.
Yeah, he's a little tired. He's been playing all day. You gotta give the guy a break.
That's a pretty good 50 there. Alright, looks like Defender Monkey's moving up here. Gets another good 50, but let's see if he can turn that into a goal. It's going to be kind of hard to bring it around from the corner into the front of the net and then score it. Yeah, Electron gets that defense. It's coming around now. Another Monkey for another 50. Seems to be coming back. So, gets it around Monkey, but not quite on the net here. Monkey trying to get the dribble, but Electron just keeps putting some pressure, not allowing that to happen. Pretty close there, but Monkey able to clear that out. Electron off the wall here. Alright, a little bit of confusion. Monkey in a dangerous position, managed to clear it out with a pinch. Electron now moving backwards, bumping each other. Alright. This could be dangerous for Electron, but Monkey doesn't seem to come in for the follow-up. Monkey trying to get around both Electrons, but it's not quite getting the shot he wants. Electron now taking it down the field again. Doesn't get the second hit. Oh, Monkey bumps itself though. Manages to get the second hit to not let that in. Well, this could be a breakaway. Monkey with 0 boost though, not able to get it around Electron. Electron now coming in with the dribble, flicks it over Monkey, bumping each other. And now Monkey has a good opportunity to score this. It's getting bumped by like half the match. Oh, there we go. Monkey double jumping over Electron and getting the first goal, its first goal of the game.
Nice little goal here by Monkey. Manages to just barely beat Electron in the air there, popping it over the top for a decent goal. Narrowing the lead now, 1-2, still in favor of Electron, but that was a good showing by Monkey, and especially here, that's a good kickoff. We usually see Electron winning those pretty convincingly, but Monkey gets possession. Unfortunately, doesn't quite have the follow-up here. Electron flicking it over the top of one. Second Electron not there. Monkey manages to clear the ball into the corner, and the follow-up cleared downfield. Now we see both Electrons out of position, and Monkey goes for the quick follow-up, and we have a tie game now, 2-2.
Monkey seems to have taken a breather, seems to have reset himself, and now he's tied up the game. Alright.
Shook up the tilt here now on the kickoff, and last time we saw it go in, almost in Monkey's favor, and here again, Monkey winning the kickoff. I wonder what happened. It's got a read now somehow on Electron's kickoff, as Electron does flick the ball over top of one here. Monkey defending, ready to send the ball back to the midfield, but Electron is there. Now, Monkey bringing the ball back into the midfield. Electron just sort of following the ball. Monkey catching it over the top. We have a challenge in the midfield. Goes in favor of Monkey as Electron catches the ball and flicks it over the top of the defender. Oh no! Almost an own goal here as Electron severely interferes with the follow-up shot from its teammate, and Monkey just sort of drives right underneath both of them and sends the ball into the net. Monkey taking the win here. That's a surprise.
Monkey refusing to lose that match pulls out the absolute comeback, and I'm very proud of him. That was an intense match to watch. Very, very good, very good. Monkey barely coming out on top there.
Yeah, that was a really good comeback. That was a reverse sweep. Am I wrong? It was 2-0, and then Monkey managed to pull it to a 3-2. That's an incredible showing.
Yeah, Monkey at the beginning of the game was recovering his breath from last match, and then decided to turn it on at the last minute. Goodness.
All right, now we're back at the bottom of the bracket. We have 2 Void versus Matrix. This should be an interesting match. Matrix, of course, last week unfortunately didn't have the best showing. Maybe it'll perform a little better this week. We'll have to see. On the kickoff here, we have the ball going in favor of the orange team, sent towards the blue corner, as we have a demo coming in very early on. Matrix now trying to get a touch off the wall, but doesn't go its way. Second Matrix is there, sends the ball towards the midfield in a bit of an awkward touch, but 2 Void is there to clear. Now ball on 2 Void's hood in the orange half. The clear is good here, sending the ball towards its own corner, goes up the wall. Matrix now popping the ball into the midfield. 2 Void, however, goes up, manages to get it over the top of the defending Matrix. This is potentially a shot. Unfortunately, 2 Void couldn't quite get there in time. Still an opportunity, though. Matrix is stuck in the back of the net here. And, 2 Void will be just as happy to send it the ball right down, straight into the net here. We have a 1-0 lead in favor of 2 Void, as Matrix was a little bit confused, I think.
Yeah, nice shot there. Matrix really not ready for that shot. They didn't really read that. Gets a really great kickoff, though. So let's see if we can do something with it. Goes up the wall. I'm guessing it tried to get a touch, but it just wasn't really in a good position for that. Void getting some boost. Ooh, saved by the other Matrix. Oh, no. And now 2 Void missing a double jump. Matrix going back around. Staying on shadow defense. Oh, one makes Matrix misses the double jump, and the other one's just on the ground.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seems like 2 Void does have the edge here. It seems like it's a little bit faster, a little bit more powerful, a little bit more comfortable in the air, and yeah, we've got a 2-0 lead here, under a minute in. I think 2 Void's probably going to take this one. Now here on the kickoff, going in favor of, well, neither party. It seems to be neutral as the ball comes down. However, 2 Void is there for the follow-up. Goes for a high, slow shot on net. Matrix is there to catch. Now, 2 Void going for a challenge. Matrix losing the challenge, and oh no, the defender is on the goal line, but flubs the shot. Unfortunately, Matrix losing 3-0. That was an unfortunate way to lose, but it seems like Matrix still sadly on the bottom of the bracket here.
Good showing by 2 Void there. Matrix wasn't updated. I guess Jeff didn't really come up with anything as that he wanted this week. It would have been interesting to see an improved version of Matrix. It really has some promise. It just needs more time, you know?
Yep. Well, all right, here we are. This, I believe, is our last game of the day. Is that right? We have Vector versus NDroid, and then I think they'll both be locked in.
Well, if Vector beats NDroid, he goes against SolarFlare because they haven't played yet. That's the only other match that could possibly happen, I think.
Right, okay. All right, well, close to the end of the match, the tournaments today here.
All right, here we go. This could go in favor of Vector if NDroid misses too many shots. However, NDroid does have actual team play and is very fast. It also can match a Vector on its aerials, and defend its flicks. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think my money is a little bit in favor of NDroid here. It seems like so far today, NDroid's been pretty fast and reasonably competent in the air. So we'll see how it goes. Vector, however, with a nice little clean breakaway shot, and I think it is good. Yep, unfortunately, NDroid was not able to recover in time. That'll be a really early lead in favor of Vector, as it sends the ball in just a nice straight line down the field. Nothing too much to worry about here, unfortunately. NDroid struggling on the recovery, doesn't quite get there in time, but here we are on the second kickoff now, coming in, looks like in favor of Vector, as Vector gets control of the ball, decides not to go for the mid boost, I guess, sending the ball up the wall, past an NDroid who whiffs the challenge, but second NDroid is there for the follow-up and sends it downfield for almost a shot on goal here. Vector was not there, and again, oh wow, okay. The first initial miss sends the ball into the perfect position for a waiting follow-up Vector who gets a beautiful power shot straight, threading the needle right through both of the defending Vectors here to tie up the game 1-1.
Yeah, Vector got a little mixed up in its net there. Got a little out of position, wasn't able to get a good clear, and now it doesn't retaliate, but oh my gosh, it's barely off. That's the bane of all Rocket League players, the open net, right?
Yeah, the open net shots are the hardest ones to hit.
Oh, NDroid with a good read off of Vector. Could get another shot here. Doesn't need it.
Yeah, that was a beautiful challenge, sending the ball really high. Vector not prepared. Look at this. Tees it up for him. NDroid sends the ball straight over the top, right down the field into the net. We're 1-2 now.
NDroid really seems to be coming out on top here. Its team play is really helping it out. Vector is also not quite as fast, and it does seem to get beat on like errors and things. Its only saving grace here is the kickoff, but NDroid manages to block that shot. All right, Vector coming around. I think it might have gotten it past both NDroids now. Could have a shot opportunity. Takes it. That's in. Oh wow.
Wow, what a beautiful shot here.
Sir, this is probably the closest fast match that we've had. It's only been a minute, but both teams have scored 2 goals. It's really anyone's game. Next goal is the win.
Yeah, both bots very aggressive so far. Seem to be perfectly happy to just go for shot after shot. Not too much in the way of defensive play style. We've seen some other bots, they like to turn away, go for the defense. Maybe Ragnarok comes to mind, who likes to keep the ball in its own half. But here, both bots are just very aggressive. All they want to do is send the ball straight into the opponent's half, which we see Vector do here. Ball in a very dangerous position if NDroid doesn't go up, but it manages to in time. However, Vector manages to catch and tries to turn the ball around. Unfortunately, loses control of the play a little bit. NDroid now, one of them in the back, ready for the defense here as Vector goes for a shot. A really nice clear on the side of NDroid, sending the ball back towards Vector's half. Unfortunately, that follow-up was not good. Vector trying to clear the ball away, but NDroid is there. Now we can see one NDroid retreats as the other one goes in. A beautiful little bit of team play here on some nice rotations that are better than my games. Vector going for a clear, manages to win the 50 against NDroid. Oh, well, NDroid on its own half doesn't manage to make contact with the ball, leaving its teammate in a 1v2. And unfortunately, the teammate was no match. Vector does clean it up, managing to sneak the ball just past the last remaining NDroid for 3-2. What a close game.
All right, next up will be SolarFlare. I'd say there's a chance, there's a pretty good chance that Vector beats SolarFlare. Vector's playstyle does kind of counter what SolarFlare is usually used to, so we'll see if SolarFlare can really keep up or not. SolarFlare does have the speed, but I don't know. Aerials are really struggling. Same thing with flick defense, which really helped NDroid here.
Yeah, considering how close that last game was, I think I'm going to put it in favor of SolarFlare, but I don't think I've called a single thing correctly today, so hey, maybe the casting curse will kick in and we'll see Vector move up another slot here.
Oh no. Vector does move up. I think it's already played SmartFridge, so yeah, it'll be over.
Yeah, so this should be the last match of the day. Here we have the kickoff going pretty heavily in favor of Vector as SolarFlare whiffs the follow-up, although it does get a demo on one of the Vectors, leaving the last Vector in a 1v2 as SolarFlare goes for the clear in the corner. Vector just kind of hovering around the ball, trying to have some presence. Unfortunately, it's not good enough as SolarFlare challenges and sends the ball down the midfield. Vector does not get a good flick. SolarFlare now hitting the ball off the corner, trying to set it up, but not the best touch. Vector with a great little follow-up here, but SolarFlare is there for the defense. Now, the ball in the hands of Vector, who is happy to bump its teammate right out of the way and completely miss the boost. This really is looking a lot like my games. Vector now going for a revenge bump, and the ball still in the Blues half. SolarFlare just kind of hanging back here, finally decides to go in for a challenge, sending the ball towards the midfield. Vector goes for a shot, but SolarFlare is there. Ball still remaining in the blue half. It seems like the pressure by SolarFlare has been pretty good overall compared to Vector. SolarFlare now backing off. Definitely a lot less aggressive than NDroid from our last game. Happy to let Vector, try to take possession of the ball and fail all on its own rather than intervening. Vector now going for a little stall in the air. I don't know why that did that, but here we have a nice shot from SolarFlare. Is saved by Vector, who takes the ball up the wall. No boost, though. Tries to set up a power shot, but couldn't quite follow it up. However, fortunately, the second Vector was there. Now, shot not quite on target. SolarFlare sending the ball high into the midfield. Maybe gets the follow-up, but neither bot manages to get there in time. The 50 goes in favor of SolarFlare, who is favoring boost over ball now as the ball goes towards the orange half. SolarFlare goes up on the wall, not quite able to do anything with this ball as Vector takes possession, bringing it down to the midfield. A little pop and flick over the top of one SolarFlare, but the second was there as both Vectors are now out of position in the rotation back here. Neither one has any boost, but SolarFlare was not able to capitalize on that opportunity. Now in the midfield, Vector sends the ball towards the orange half. SolarFlare not able to make contact on the corner, and Vector was there over the top, manages to score the first goal. Very impressive here, even though this was a bit of a double commit by both Vectors. We saw one SolarFlare out of position and the other just not able to hit the ball in the corner here.
Yeah. SolarFlare kind of showing its weakness there of not really aerialing too much. But it seems like the rotations are really helping it out to stay in the match right now. It needs to retaliate quickly, otherwise this could be over pretty soon. Vector going into its own corner, gets beat out by SolarFlare though. SolarFlare getting it around both Vectors, threading the needle, and that's it. Goodness.
A quick follow-up goal by SolarFlare. It said, no, I'm not taking any chances here. That was just some false hope maybe early on. SolarFlare just deftly touching the ball right past the Vector in the corner and manages to follow it up with that speed before the defending Vector could save the shot. 1-1 now. We're about 2.5 minutes in. Vector in the midfield, able to go for a shot, but SolarFlare is there. Still good 50-50 in favor of Vector. The second SolarFlare doesn't manage to get the touch. This is an opportunity, and Vector is there over the top. SolarFlare just seemingly whiffing or not getting the greatest touches here are setting up these opportunities for Vector, and it's working. Vector seems to be winning here, 2-1. just barely scraping out an edge over SolarFlare, which is a surprise. Like I said, my money was on SolarFlare, and I've been wrong every time. So hopefully we can see maybe SolarFlare bring it back. But so far, Vector just barely has an edge.
Yes, it's going to really come down to if SolarFlare can get these crucial touches or not. Oh, that's a miss there, and yeah, it's over.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like Vector is gonna take the win here, 3-1 against SolarFlare. That's really surprising to me. You know, I really thought SolarFlare was gonna take this one, but that's a very impressive showing by Vector as it moves up the bracket.
Well, that seems to be the last game of the day. So, nice. Looks like we have our top 8.
Yeah, nice couple of games today. A bit of a shorter run than we had last weekend, but that'll lock up the bracket. And, you know, I'll tell you what, I'm really excited for next weekend.
I'm just going to correct you on that one. It's in 2 weeks. So next week is going to be a break. And in all of this time, all of the bot makers will have a chance to update their bots and can make some new changes, whatever they might have. I know there's, for instance, a Ripple version 12 that is very hyped. Let's see if that one gets in. We're also missing the appearance from Ragnarok, which I'm also waiting for in excitement. But hopefully the most of the updates will of course be to the gameplay. And the final is definitely going to be super exciting. So the 8 bots that we're going to see in the finals are Seer, it is Ripple, Nexto, Ragnarok, Opti, both of them, Nexto, Vulcan. And the rest unfortunately does not make it, but thank you to everyone who has been participating. It's been really fun and it's been some really good matches. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys also enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
And that concludes our bubble sorting. So see you all again in 2 weeks. And hopefully the stream will be slightly better that time. GG's everyone. See you there.
Alright, GG's.
GG's.